Hello all, Lotta here. I'm working on drawing things other than dragons, and since horses are my favorite animal, I chose to start by drawing them. I used to draw horses a couple years back, however, I just got back into drawing them. And I said I'd put a bit of a tutorial spin on this, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Remember, I'm a beginner with drawing horses too, so I'm still figuring things out myself. One thing I highly recommend is to look for a reference. Using references is extremely important when starting out and still after doing something for years, especially if you're doing realistic drawings or semi-realism, however, whatever your cup of tea is. I picked this one. I don't love the horse, but the pose is nice, so we have that. For me, when doing a digital drawing of a horse, I trace it. Don't do this unless you're just learning. Tracing is a good way to help your brain remember how something works and just where everything goes, especially with anatomy and stuff like that. The rest of this video will be not scripted. I mean, I may script some things, but this is just me randomly talking. So when I draw my horses, of course I trace, like I said. I pick a pencil brush and I pick a bright color. Usually it's red. And I just trace things. I use a lot of circles because circles are good, and also other blobby shapes. You can see me, I'm just like tracing the main muscles, I guess. I do not study horse anatomy, like the muscles and bones, so I don't know much about them. I'm just tracing what I see in shapes. I do know for their legs, you have these like little knobby things. They got some really knobbly legs, and I just circle where they have like that little bulge. And the hooves also, they have like a little jut out and then they go back in and then go back out. I can't explain that great, but hopefully that kind of makes sense. I usually just like trace the shape of the horse. And you'll see later I do try to draw it myself. It does not turn out as good as tracing does, of course, but hopefully I can get there to the point that someday I will just have to look at a reference and be able to draw a horse pretty well. I did a traditional horse drawing a bit ago in watercolor. Here's a picture. I'm very proud of it, except that I only had like this Crayola watercolor palette and it did not have straight up black. The black was brown. You see that black there? That's the black. Okay, I was trying to do like a dappled gray horse, but it didn't turn out well. I'm still really happy with the piece because it looks like an Appaloosa or something now. It's so pretty. I'm still tracing here, and there's also this line down the back where their like hair goes separate directions. It's been a while since I've been around a horse or ridden a horse, so I don't know exactly. But I do know that's there, so just remember that because that can help you with like the perspective. At least it helps me. So it's really simple with the ears. Those are triangles. We love triangles. They're good. I'm gonna draw the hair here, and I'm making up hair because you know what? This is your art piece, and whatever you want to do is, yeah, you can do it. I'm making no sense, guys. I definitely need a script for this. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I'm just tracing the main shape of the tail, and then I'm making stuff up for the other hair because, as you can see, it's not there. There's no hair, and I like my horses to have lots of hair, so we're doing that. I do have experience with drawing hair, so it may be harder to do it if you're new to drawing horses or even humans. Humans have hair, so that's how I know how to draw hair. Because I used to draw humans. Anyways, I'm giving it a nice flowing mane. Super pretty. And I love it so much. But after this, I usually will move the picture to the side of it and then pick out colors and color it. Even when drawing with just a reference, no tracing, you also will want to trace it first, like the main shapes and stuff, which does help you figure out where things go. And then you can draw it from there. Obviously, it may be tricky at first, and it's definitely tricky for me trying to get the right shape of the head. Especially with digital drawing, I just find it easier to, trace. So tracing can be good, but also bad. It can hurt your art. But as a beginner, it's fine from what I see. Here I'm trying to draw the ears. It's not looking the best, and I don't think I elongated the snout that good. One thing I will say is that when you're drawing something new or trying to learn something, it's definitely good to critique your own art. So when you think something's off, you just go, something's off here. Let me think about it. And you basically annotate your own piece. I did it here with this picture. I was trying a new program for drawing. Maybe I'll make a video on that. I don't know. But I was just taking note of what I thought I needed to work on and what I think I could have done better with. Those ones were not made with references, so obviously they don't look as good. I was also trying to draw some more cartoony-ish horses. I am not at that level yet because, as a beginner, it's definitely easier to start with something realistic. If you're doing like rabbits, dogs, cats, start with realism and then go to cutesy. Unless you've drawn them before, or with bunnies, yeah, I don't know. It's really with horses, it's hard because trying to draw a cartoony horse it's hard. That's all I have to say about it. I can't say anything other than it's difficult and it's hard. It's very tricky to perfect things to the point that you can draw things cartoony. With dragons, of course, they're mythical creatures, so you don't have like a reference. But referencing other artists is also good. So if you find someone who can do cartoony horses or not as realistic horses, definitely look at their art and see how they change up horses. But here I'm just going to what I said earlier, where I take the picture and I just reference it by color picking and all that jazz. It's a very slow process, and just find a brush that you like a paintbrush or something. If you're doing it traditional, it's definitely harder to color pick things, but I just use the eyedropper tool and eyedrop whenever I feel like I need color. I also will start with the darkest color and go to the lightest. I think it's definitely easy with acrylic. With watercolor, you start light and then go to dark. It depends on each type of paint you're using, but something that's more opaque, definitely start with dark. So I'm just starting with almost black blue here that I picked out. And you'll see a lot of different shades of grays. You'll see reds and greens. It's just really, real life. There's so many colors in one thing that you can't just get one straight solid color over the whole body. Of course, I'm starting with a solid color because I need something. I usually start with the head because it's the easiest part for me and it's the funnest part. It's more exciting. And you'll see me struggle with the eyes a lot, and just color picking and trying to get the pattern and the shape correct. I had to correct myself a little bit. And, it's all a bunch of trial and error. There's always going to be something that you think there's going to be something wrong. And, you're just learning. So it's fine to feel like your art isn't good. I definitely don't think this drawing was going good. It's not bad, but it's not the best. And it's fine because making mistakes is good and it helps you learn.
Wash down the bitter taste. Chaos is drowning out the melodies that we used to sing. Harmony that we used to bring. 'Cause waves will come crashing down. Time will shake
Earlier, I did skip a bit of the art process because I would have wasted a lot of time, and I know speed paints are not most people's favorites, so I just got rid of a bit of it. But anyways, really what I did was just like put down the base color and do the tail. And my hair on the horse looks very fake compared to like the picture, of course, and even the body. But the hair is like my favorite part, and I love doing all that, the nice cartoony stuff. But I'm very happy with this drawing and how it turned out. It was very fun to do, and I hope a few of my tips helped with drawing stuff, like even drawing other animals and other things. But yep, here is the finished product. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Of course, check the description for other information and stuff. And I hope you enjoyed. Have a great rest of your day.